everyone. Okay, everybody got destroyed by the market open because they got all happy, right? They got all excited. They think we're going to Valhalla. Bullish divergence on the 1 hour, bullish divergence on the 2 hour. I know because I was watching it, right? If we go over here, right, we're looking for a continuation trade here. Bull div right here, right? Continuation out. And guess what? They said, not so fast, my friend. Not so fast, okay? So we do have some buy levels on our way down here. We'll see if we can continue to dump. But did you see, I think BlackRock's selling some Bitcoin, bro. Little bit of scare in the market, bro. A little bit of FUD. Dump the market. Maybe they want to buy back cheaper. So
Most likely.
that's something to watch for. Right? Typically, when that happens, here comes the liquidation event, right? There's always a liquidation event. I'm just happy that we've basically called this, right? We said lower. We said to hurt everybody's feelings. Now everybody's feelings really hurt, man. I think even mine are starting to hurt a little bit, but yeah, so in this, just let it, you can jump on trend. We talk about jumping on trend. So retest the order blocks, continuation down, retest the levels, continuation down. I'll share some stop, like some areas we're looking for. I'm looking for us to come down to all the way to this 112,000, really. Like if we're looking at where this thing can go and we zoom out, which is always important, we look, we look left for confluence, look left confluence. And where are we looking? We're looking to come here. Liquidity in the lows, right? Liquidity in the lows until we have sufficient bottoming structure, which we haven't gotten yet, right? We're looking for, we could get a little bit of a bounce, but we're looking for a continuation down, right? You can see very aggressive downwards trend line here, just absolute rejection this morning as well. So if you go from high to low here, right? Not even able to get up to it, right? Can't even get it up, OC. So, and the thing is here, we got they will tease you with the pump, right? They will tease you. They'll say, hey, man, you could push back here because the hourly is giving you bullish divergence, right? The hourly is saying, hey, man, we're going up here, right? But what's the daily saying? What's the higher term time frame? This is why time frame is so important, right? So we have lots of buy levels on the way down, but we're looking for sufficient structure, right? What did we do yesterday night? We swept the lows, bullish divergence. Yeah, but that's still a lower low, right? So we still have downwards structure, right? We have not mitigated the high. So now we need to get above this high. It's a long way away, guys. So what we want to see is a high, retest of the lows, a higher low, and a break of structure. Then we can start talking longs. Okay? Or you can be a knife catching machine. It's totally up to you. But that's how I'm looking at it. So this morning, we had the 3 drives, bearish divergence. Okay? We had the low, bounce off, the hopium given to everybody in the morning. Everybody, look, we're going to Valhalla, right? Okay? We sweep, we turn back into the range, and then we roll over. Okay? It's a very clear topping structure. Okay? Especially with yesterday's dump, higher low, higher high. Yeah, okay, now we need a higher low. Well, are we going to get it? Doesn't look like it, right? This looks like rolling over. We lose structure. We retest. We even perfectly retest those lows, right? VWAP, everything's right there. It's all right there. That's where you get short. Or if you trade the orb like me, you can see you lost the orb. You look to short it down. Okay? And then continuation all the way through. So now we're trying to bounce here. This is a bounce level initially. But if we're looking left and we're looking at where's our support going to be? Even Piper said lower yesterday, and he's like, I'm not trying to be bearish. He just said lower. We said looking at this here, so we're trading over to the right, but looking at this here, this is liquidity that we want to sweep, right? So lowest, like Yeah, we're bouncing right now from this wick. I like this order block, but I mean 112.6, and then we've got the low in here, right? So I'm looking at these two levels to hold. So can we see a sweep down below and a bounce, possibly? Or do we get relief only to continue downwards, right? Do we get relief only to continue downwards, and then maybe we go? We'll see. I'd like to see a bit of relief, but what I like and what happens isn't always gonna be happening. That's why we use a stop loss, right? What are you looking at, OC?
Do you want to see what I'm looking at?
XRP.
No, you caught me. But I'll show you what I'm looking at. Here, this is what I'm looking at. I'm gonna keep it small so it doesn't show in there. But I was looking at Halo memes. I was looking to send you something, but I couldn't find it in time. All right, so other than that, let's actually go to what I'm looking at in here. All right, so we did had an open short yesterday here at this area. If you guys recall that was at 17,005, which was the tipping top right there on that candle. Right, let's make that big now. So here it is. So there we go. So our alert showed up there. So it's a secret. Oh, got it. No. Very quick. I know this is a little out of context. Looking at the side chat, they were asking me about the divergences. And someone asked me, Gare asked me, what do I use? And Daga said, I think OC uses default. Yes, I use default in most of the cases, but since one default's 30 10 and the other one is 4010, I just normalize them both at 4010. So that's why. So instead of 3010, 4010 it's what I use. Default thing is 35 if I'm not 30 and 5 if I'm not mistaken. Right here on the prime oscillator, your default was 40 and 5. So I don't know why it's at 5 right there, but 40 and 10. So that's how I normalize them between the two oscillators. And it is just talks about how big of your divergences are, right? So I like to have a little bit of the big end and also not that short divergences, because very short divergences for me, they are a noise in the charts. And then you start having, like itty bitty tiny divergences that they don't really play out or played as much as I'd like to. So for me, they're just noise in the chart. All right, going back into what I'm seeing right here on Bitcoin. Yesterday we have an alert right here at 17,005. And that was basically at the TP top right there. So the price action, it hit it right there. But in the meantime, I went to the PC and opened up the order. It has slipped a little bit below. And well, this is it. It's not about the breakout. It's about your retest. Off we go to the downside. And we're coming to the first take profits. Why do we have the first take profits here? And we talked about this red box yesterday. And it is because right there we have our confluence point. All right, so what kind of confluence? Let me first, by the way, guys, if you get this red runtime error, that is RAM from TradingView, not from your PC or Mac or whatever. To fix it, just click on the gear icon, change something and change it back, and then click OK. You'll see the little eye is going to start moving around. Just give it 1 second, and then the thing will reload and you'll have it. There we go. Back your indicators up and running. So let me start turning on my indicators in here. You'll see that right here I have some support and resistances. So let me start cleaning this up. All right. So there it is. Support, resistance. So we're losing the resistance that right now. Oh, that previously was a support. Let's go check out the next thing here. We have a predictive range right down there. And then you start seeing, why am I choosing this box zone for taking profits. By the way, we should be taking profits right now. TP number 1. We have another predictive range right where we're supposed to be taking profits. Another important part or important zone that I'm looking at. And this is why I always look at these things. And here is my box. Smart money entries. Look at that. And what's going on at that area? We're starting to see a little bounce. So the point in here is that you have, or it is good to have some sort of volume. All right. I'm looking at this kind of volume to be average in the lower part, right? I mean, smaller than average, a little bit smaller than average, right? But the disparity needs to be as small as possible, right? It's not about the size, it's about how you use it, right? That's what they say. So, of course, just kidding. But right here, it indicates me the size of disparity that there is in the market, or the shorts minus the bulls, right? Which means that if there's low disparity, all the people are pointing at the same zone, and we know retail doesn't like to, get together. The retail tend to do these huge spikes in the left because some people are buying, other people are selling, right? They don't get together to do the same stuff. This tells me, first, less amount of people creating noise, and most amount of buyers or sellers, which usually it's one institution, right? AKA smart money, are aiming at the same zone with their positions. So that is the combo that I'm looking at, right? So something like good volume, right? So for example, this would be low volume, but if the low volume has a very low disparity, that's what I look for. That's smart money entry. Quick caveat, so we don't get confusing here. I'm looking for the highest possible volume and the lowest amount of disparity. All right. But if I see this kind of volume and very low disparity, I get really worried, because that means that we're either retailers getting together to do one move, or there's going to be a massive sellout on that or buy up at these areas. All right. But that is only if we get low disparity in there. So just explain a little bit on what's going on right there on the VRVP. All right, so smart money area here, we start seeing right now how that smart money area start acting on the price action. That doesn't mean that we're gonna bounce, but absolutely means that this is a resistance or a support, right? A resistance for the price to go through, a support for the price to either range, bounce, or do something in there. So taking TP number 1 for me, that is a good area. All right, let's continue. Let's see what else do I have in there. Oh, not this one. Trend channels. By the way, my trend channels, we haven't hit the bottom of the trend. And I love this trend channel tool. It's also inside your market dynamics pro. All right. If you go here and you scroll back down, you'll see that where is it? Right here, you also have channels. The difference with these channels are less noisy per se. All right. But these ones right here, and that's why I have them in a separate zone, they're louder visually, if that makes sense. They're more intrusive visually, which for me, that's what I'm looking for in this case. And that is because I don't want to miss what might be happening there. All right. So as you can see, there we go. We have a channel. We're bouncing off the top of the channel, going to the bottom of that channel, and look at where that bottom of that channel is starting to appear. Somewhere around 112,823. Same inside my red box. All right. So we did this yesterday, looking for that liquidity zone, so on and so forth. And there we go. We're reaching targets also on our FIVP. And finally, we have, oh, come on, our volume profile. There we go. In this volume profile, this is what I look for. This is one of my secret weapons for falling knife strategies. So right there, and this is exactly the first area that I'm looking for. This area right here and this area right here are going to be my taking profits. Also, that's what I'm going to start looking, not opening, which is different, right? Start looking for bouncing to the upside. So right here, we're seeing that first bounce, which is fine. All right. And if I bounce out of here, I'm not going to be taking the long until I get here and I take another short. If that plays out. If not, I'm just taking 50% out and waiting to see the price movements. All right. Talking about price movements. And look at how we're getting closer to this big chunky area right here. I said chunky candles in the house today. So that chunky area talks about me that we could be stopping or bouncing. If we stop and we make Bitcoin boring again, and let's make Bitcoin boring again, right? We're gonna be seeing what everybody thinks we are into an icon season, because when Bitcoin gets bored, people go to icon, and there's that narrative. I don't know what is it coming from, that we are into an icon season. We are not there yet, all right? So micro icon seasons, yes, and that's what I'm going to be trying to take advantage of. So let's take a look at a couple of things that we've been trading, or that I have been trading, all right? And here's where taking this risk comes with a price, all right? So for example, right here on TAO, we took this long, perfect, TP number 1, TP number 2, not taken, and then when it comes back down, it takes us out. Perfect, that's out of the way. Let's actually just get rid of it. I did reopen another trading here. What happened in here? 1 week down, look at that, we get stopped at, or I got stopped at. Well, that's part of the game, right? I already have 50% out and one stopped out in here. I'm closer to breaking even TAO. I'm above breaking even, just so you know, on this kind of on that trade. So right there, I'm still considering this half of an entry valid and this other half of an entry valid. And look at that, I'm following the exact same strategy that I'm using on Bitcoin. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Well, we can't. Let's just keep it as is. And the point is, look at your volume profile. Where is it showing that we could be bouncing, all right? So am I into a short? No. Should I have gone into a short? Yes, I even had my freaking box in here. Did I jump in? No. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me why. I mean, it's one of those things that, I mean, you cannot be in all of the coins, right? And that is one of those things that I knew I wanted to jump in there. I marked it, and I just didn't. All right. So that happens. All right. So it's if you want to whine about it, I'm not one to tell you not to, because I always do. But the point is, remember, the market's going to be there. You're not missing out, right? So what is the next step? The next step will be, in this case, as you can see it, there we go, opening and long. There is a purple line at 348. And you'll see that TAO 348. That is my first half of an entry that I think still valid. And why do I think this is still valid? Look at the wick that got me out. All right. So at the very least, I was expecting to have a range. That's why I'm not jumping into a full position. So I think Alex is correct. We still have some more downtime, but this is an explanation on why I think, or why am I long, and why I think we could be having that bounce, because we're getting to a volume zone where not only Bitcoin could be ranging, and we could be seeing that rotation of capital next to, or tied to, that we have the altcoin narrative. So I believe that we could have exactly this that I already have drawn, a little push through, so benefit from that, and then aiming for then maybe, and just maybe, if the conditions are right, have another very nice short, something like that. And why I'm not calling it at the very top of the dynamic reactor? Well, I usually wait for confirmations, because when I front run the indicators, sometimes I just don't nail it, right? So I rather not to play with my money and then go with, like, hey, is this playing out? Let's just wait for candle close, so on and so forth. So once again, you don't need to really hurry on the 4 hours. The story is different when you are on the 1 minute, 3 minutes, and 5 minutes. You need to be quick, because if you wait too long, you get left out. All right, so this is what I'm looking for. And remember, because there is a chance that we can keep coming back down, I have my secondary entry. And remember, I'm not adding more entries. I'm gambling with one single entry. All right. So Why am I doing this? Because the risk is there. So how do I divide the risk? Dividing the amount of money that I push in. I'm only willing to lose one stop loss position. And to do one stop loss position, I need to divide one position in two and then create my stop loss in order to average down for that position. All right. So what's going to happen? Just for practical reasons, what's going to happen if I'm wrong, this doesn't play it out, and it goes and it hits my next entry. I have actually that example already playing out. This is going to be averaging down to this area, making it much, much easier for when it bounces up, I close or at least move my stop to entry, take 50% out to compensate whatever might be happening, and then letting it either run to the upside, which I don't think that will be, and then maybe going for a double bottom or something that lets me re-enter for that better position long to then position myself for a better trade. All right. So that is the plan so far on TAO. Let's take a look at the AVAX because AVAX just read a couple of minutes ago. All right. And here's one of those examples. All right. So I fucked this up because it was something like that. All right. So it was, in fact, no, don't move that out of the way. All right. It was something like that. Remember that we called this out a D trade, a dangerous trade. All right. And we hit TP1, TP2. That was a very nice. And then move our stop to entry. And in one single candle, and this is what happens. Look at that one single candle leak. They take us at profits. All right. So that's fine. We took 70% or 65% out. Not quite remember. And then went back down, took us at profit. So no hurt in there. Then, because I was back on support, I decided to jump back into a 1/4 of a position. Same thing, all right? Right now, I'm a little bit underwater, but I'm feeling confident that we could be reaching back up for me to push my stop to entry. It's not there yet, all right? Let's go and check out a couple of other stuff that I'm trading. For example, Toncoin. Toncoin, I'm about to get stopped out. Look at that, right? But also remember that we called for this short in here, all right? Yes, we were underwater. The thing did not did anything. Underwater for a little bit. There we go. Moving to dynamic reactor TP number 1, breaking through TP number 2, right? We are on TP number 2, and then we reversed it as we took TP number 1. So what's going on right now? I have another entry right here. Alert. Look at that at 317. Important. I'm playing this one differently, slightly different. I'd rather go out of this one and then re-enter right down here because this is a 1/4 of a position. I can average down, all right? But the point is, look at that. We have our actual entry a little bit lower. So my alert is alerting me to enter a bit lower. So the distance between where I'm going to get stopped out and then coming back down, that would mean that my stop loss would have had something like this. Look at that. Not even going 50%, I will do, well, maybe 50% entry, 1.4. But for me, that is just too crazy of a stop loss. All right. So I'd rather get stopped out. A little bit of hurting myself a little bit right there, and then coming back into a more safer, better opportunity, right? So that is the good and the bad right now. So as you see, I'm pushing for longs at this point, and that is based on the narrative. Important, very, very, very important. I'm not closing completely my shorts. That's what enables me to take that higher risk and to try to balance out my account. So what I'm looking for longs, and let me show you that really quickly. Let's go to a downtrend scenario because that is where I can best explain it. All right. Look at, for example, I think this is a perfect example. It's not exactly like this, although it could happen like this. All right. But you know you're in a downtrend when the short moves are always at least, look at that, bigger than your long moves. All right, look at your long right here. This is your long move, and this is your short move. All right, then you do once again your short move. Look at that again. Your short move, it's bigger than your long move. You see that? So your long move is shorter than your short move. And then once again, look at your short move. Oh, shoot. That's actually much. Look at your short move versus your long move. Once again, your short move is greater, it's bigger than your long move. You know you're in a downtrend, all right? If you start getting a little greedy, or because I mean, this is greediness. How can I call that, Alex? Does that word exist? Even exist? Greediness? I don't think so.
Greediness.
Oh,
Yeah,
greediness.
it works.
Oh, great. All right.
Greediness. Yeah.
Greediness, perfect. Because that is greediness. Because I know we should be into a short. So what the hell am I long in the thing if I don't have a sweep of the lows, if I don't have a higher low, if I don't have the structure? The actual answer, deep down into my heart, right? Am I trying to be honest here? It's because I'm being greedy. It's because I'm being greedy. And because I believe that I have the skills to sustain that greediness. Be careful. And I'm talking to myself, right? Be careful. So, because I understand that the long move are less bigger or more smaller than your short move, but I'm still trying to catch that itty bitty tiny sweet spot on that bouncing market. All right. So again, that bounce, I'm trying to catch this, I'm trying to catch this, I'm trying to catch this, or if I'm lucky enough, trying to catch this. All right. So having understanding the risk that I'm doing, that's why you also see that I have a fourth of an entry. I'd rather get a stopped out and then look for a lower target that enables me to get maybe a bigger bounce. Other stuff that add to my greediness, because even to be greedy, you need to be smart, all right? It's not really smart. It's just looking at your indicators, all right? So just don't go YOLO it, because if you YOLO it, you will be putting at risk more than you would like, right? At the end of it all, I don't like losing. That is just the truth, the truth, right? That's why I divide my capital. That's why I do this tricks, the strategies, so on and so forth. I mean, everything revolves about not losing money, not really making money, but not losing money, because I'm also like a cheap ass guy, all right? So I freaking hate, I'm very competitive. And that's why I keep pushing Alex to play once again with me Halo, because I've been practicing. I'm very competitive and I enjoy it.
I'd have to download it again just to whoop your ass.
I'll be more than happy, my friend. I'd take that. I'd take that. I'd take it. I also like Halo and I like Alex. So also, I mean, it's just a game. All right. So so having said that, we also have, look at that. We have our flip of the ribbon. Perfect. That actually kind of give me that spark of hope, right? That I could be jumping back up despite the thing keeps dropping down. What if, and this is a tricky question, it's not really a tricky question, but more for the advanced traders here. And I know Daga is going to get it. So what happens if the price action keeps falling and then, and I know this is not going to be appearing here because I changed my settings, and the volume or momentum goes the other way around? We should be having a what? I know you got it, guys. When the price action moving differently of your oscillator, you get a divergence, right? So I'm a little fasty here. Maybe I cut Dag a little bit offhand, but there we go. So what could happen here? We could be seeing this movement to the upside, and we could be having a push, right? And something that Alex has taught us, and he always talks about it, if we have a big movement like we had in here, that is usually a signal that we might be having a divergence, because this thing is going to be moving faster than your oscillator. But if your oscillator is already bouncing up, that increases the chances of a bullish divergence. Once again, I'd rather get stopped out and enter when we start seeing that divergence being played out, right? So I'm trying to be smart about it, right? So I'm playing greedy. I understand the risk that playing greedy might get me to. I'm also trying to catch the bottom, because here's another stuff in here, right? Look at it here. We have another localized bottom in here. And this is going to be repeating over and over and over in all of the crypto. So I'm going to shut up right now and let's check out other stuff that everything is having the same language. All right, so let's go. Here we go. Right here, we have a localized bottom somewhere around here, which is important at the top of this other range. So are we hitting there? Yes. And look at that. Being greedy as fuck just got me kicked. All right, out of INA, sorry, out of INA. All right, so INA, this is one of the hits. I was looking into it today in the morning and I was, dude, I'm going to get hit. I'm going to get hit. I'm starting to whining about it, but it's part of the game, right? Just like I'm getting hit on INA, we're doing great on TON, all right? Oh, sorry, I think somebody talked me. All right, so, but look at that, LDO. LDO actually was playing on fantastically a couple of hours ago. We were bouncing to the top side here, and look at that. My stop loss, it's below dynamic reactor, and I have a secondary entry because right here I'm doing a quarter and a quarter. All right, another important thing, I already have my flip of the ribbon bouncing up. This is important. Time is ticking. Clock is ticking. Guys, if you want to take out something out of the whole blah, 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 blah that I just did, please take this out. Timing is important. How you read time, how you make your indicators work like a clock. All right. If I know, like because before I've bounced off the zero line, because before I have bounced off the zero line. All right. And then what happens when I bounce off the zero line, I continue downwards. And here is the trick. We were supposed to be going up in here. And let's mark it candle by candle. From here to here, I was supposed to go higher. I was supposed to go up. What happened there? Nothing. Not a shit. Happened nothing. The damn thing refused to go up, right? It wasted in time. Come on. So what happens here? All right, so I'm supposed to be going up. I'm getting at the top. I'm about to bounce off the zero line. So sorry, bro. Your time is up. And instead of going for that long, let's just say that you are on that long position, that you caught it. I don't know. Let's try to make it the worst case scenario. That you caught it there, right? Your stop loss is right here. Then you're aiming for to bounce or to go to your dynamic reactor. Hey, right here, your time is up. Your time is up. What do? You close it. You look for your BOS, right? And then you short your BOS, your break of structure, talking about smart money concepts, your BOS, all right? Your break of structure. Because it's not the same a break of the structure in just simple terms that a BOS on smart money concepts, all right? So BOS is a continuation pattern. I hate that they call it break of structure, but that's just me whining about it. All right, so the same thing is happening here. What is it supposed to be doing here? From here to, we still have 2 more candles to there. The damn thing, it's supposed to be bouncing up, and it's just not doing it, right? And remember, we had the same freaking thing happening here. I do recall this one. So let me remind you guys that we were shorting this shit in here. And the damn thing, look at that. It was supposed to going low, 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 low. And then at the very freaking last minute, boom, going to that area. Perfect. Perfect. Almost a lucky move. Almost a lucky move because right here was doing nothing. All right. So right here is happening the same thing. The thing, it has like 1, 2 candles at most, 8 hours. 8 hours at most. If the damn thing doesn't go up, I'm going to have to close my long position. So sorry for me, right? But I'd rather do that and then hedge it, right? So in this case, maybe I can do the break of structure short to where meaningful areas of support. Perfect. Then just keep it up or keep it open and then just get in a bigger stop down. All right. So once again, just be careful on that one. One more time, if you just want to take one single thing out of today's session from me, it's just use it as a clock, right? Just don't run it on Hopium. Let's see, we're on LDO. ENA, we're talking about ENA, Solana. Let's take a look at Solana, and then, of course, we're going to be jumping into XRP. Solana. Solana, it really, dude, you're getting too, you're talking too much to fuck Ethereum, right? Come on, Solana. Come on. You gotta be kidding me, bro. All right. Solana, stop me up.
Solana looks weak.
Yes, it looks weak. It looks weak. But also, we have our meaningful low right down here. I mean, it does look weak. In fact, I know I need to keep
didn't
this
take
for.
that low yet.
You're right. And we can draw this this trend line. If we draw this trend line, we can still go lower. So far, Solana, I'm giving
you
it.
Get an SFP at 170. I have a level at 176.50, like an SFP for Solana.
You gotta be looking for that. Look at my alert.
Let's go.
Let's go, bro.
Nah, joking.
No, that actually, dude. Sometimes I just say, man, he really must think that I'm stealing his trades or following like to the T, because I don't know.
You're good, man.
You're good, bro. Love it. But that happens when, like, remember what I talked about before, collective thinking. And that collective thinking only comes if everybody's thinking by themselves and then collectively pushing together their findings. Because, I mean, what is your entry point to be? I mean, exactly, like around which points? Because I guarantee we're very close, but they're not equal.
176.48.
176.81. Right. So there you go.
So I get a better entry.
Yes, you get a better entry. Love it.
Or I miss it.
Oh, you're a specialist grabbing those lows, man. Oh, that didn't come out right.
Yeah.
Not a harm intended.
No, it's fine. It wasn't offensive. Still waiting for this to push OCM. Still long here, buddy. Right now, yeah, Solana looking here. See, we haven't taken this low yet. So I'd like to see whoop.
Nice.
That would be ideal. ETH has taken the low. Okay, so ETH can go anytime it wants. Might get a continuation here. Just like yesterday. So like, let's look at yesterday. Why was this short so easy? Okay, because we had revisit of lows, right? Okay, we had impulse fib 786 golden pocket, right? What do we had at the top? Bearish divergence, right? We lose the low, we look for the retest, right? Just the exact same on the weekend. We lose the low, we retest, and we go. I'm telling you, you must understand this, because this is how you're going to catch the trend. Okay? If you can understand this, you can trade it time and time and time again. You didn't get a sweep here, you did on Ethereum. Remember that? That was Thursday. Right? But you did lose the lows here and you did get a little bit of a retest. If you can learn this, right? 1, 2, 3, break a structure. No retest, but you can look for this, right? Same with the way up. Okay? If you can learn this. Right? You have your break a structure right here. You have your first retest, your second retest, and off you go. Once you have that break, All you're looking for is a pullback. Stop loss below the low, continuation trade into the liquidity of the highs behind you. Okay? It's not hard, but it takes practice and patience and experience. And for me, I can show you this, but you guys got to go and practice it. What's that mean? You got to go in, use your tools, and I do this every morning, guys. Every morning, I come in and I set myself up. I set the plan up. I set where I'm looking for the trades, how I'm looking for the trades. And because I do it every morning, there's a reason why I do it every morning, even when I'm not trading, even on the weekends. Why? Because if price comes down here and I'm not on the charts, okay? Right? Price comes down here. What do? Oh, I'm going to be looking here. Oh, I guess I got to be looking here. I ain't got to do a lot of work, guys. I know where I'm looking because I've done the work already. What do you think this level was from? Me this morning going like this, and going like this. There you go. Because I've done the TA already, right? Look at this. If we come up higher, oh, okay. Oh, okay, right? And I can add to these every morning. So what will I do? I come in the morning, top-down analysis, always. What am I going to do? I'm going to identify my macro fib every morning. So I'll come in on like a 4-hour and I'll be like, okay, swing high to swing low. It's going to be my macro fib. Okay, it matches in with that box. Maybe I have to adjust this box a little bit. I come up a bit. Okay, maybe not. Okay, does it line up? Okay, then what? I go into my hourly. I only got to do the work from here to here. That's it. I don't have to do more work because I've done the work. I can check to make sure I have my macro levels, right? So like my big Fibonacci level here or whatever, right? Cool. But I know that I'm just isolating price in here. So I come in here on 15-minute, right? I go in here. I put on my order blocks. I put on my liquidity zones. I check. Okay. Swing high to swing low. Order block there. VWAPs right here. Okay. I go swing high to swing. I go swing high to swing low. Does that line up with the golden pocket? Yes. So that's an order block, but I'd rather take that at VWAP and the golden pocket. So that's a sell wall. So I'm interested there. Okay. That's done. Boom. Where am I looking to buy? Okay, buy level here, nothing in front of us. Also retest the previous lows. I should probably include that. Let's bring this down just a tiny bit here. So I'm looking for resistance to be in here. Also, that acts as a take profit zone. So if I'm long here, I'm looking for this to come into here. That would be TP1. Okay? And that's how I'm doing it every single day. Marking out key areas where I have confluence, where I should be looking for shorts or longs, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right, OC? But it takes time. You got to develop your chart. And if you do want data over here, let's say you don't have any data because you haven't done any TA, maybe it's down in here. You don't have key levels, right? So you can go in here with your rewind tool and you can isolate the price, okay? You can go into here and you can see where your order blocks are, okay? You can see where your liquidity zone is, order block, bounce level, okay? And you can mark those out along the way, okay? Pretty cool, right? I know you like it. Magic, okay?
Like magic.
Right? But you got to put in some work. Put some work into your charts, right? When you develop levels like this, I know that in this green box there's 2 or more confluences that suggest we can move in the opposite direction. All this box is, when I draw the box on the chart, is saying that if price comes into it in either direction, this way or this way, it's a sell, so I would assume price is below it, right? Can I have a reaction on price, maybe bullish divergence, maybe an SFP higher low, that says we can get short here? And if I have that reaction, I take a short here because I have confluence suggesting it can go down, making my win rate higher. That's all I want. I still got to manage risk. I still got to try and take an R3 trade, right? A high multiple trade. But I want my TA to tell me, hey, dummy, when we come here, there's a higher possibility that we go here. That's it, right? When we come into our dynamic reactor, there's a higher probability that we retest and we get rejected. Oh, pretty good. Oh, pretty good. Okay? It's confluence, right? What else is here? Golden pocket, order block. Okay? You stack them, right? The more you can stack, the closer they are to becoming a pink box. Okay? The magical pink box. And that's how you want to do it. So learn how to mark out your charts, take pride in it, keep them organized, right? I mean, I could go like this and turn on my charts and you get very confused. But that's because I trade on the 3 minute. It's not so loud on the 3 minute, okay? But if you go it on my weekly and we zoom out, you can see I got levels for days, baby. 4 days, okay? I even have levels all the way down to 20,000. Okay? I'm ready. Dump it, baby. Pump it, dump it, whatever you're into. I even have levels that we haven't even gone to yet. I should mark out 500,000 for OC. Sorry. I should honor his pride here. Here we go.
Yes, please. $20.29. Let's go. I love it. Love it. All right, guys. So we have reached the end of the show today. Thank you so much for joining. Alex, love a lovely class today. Thank you so much for stopping by. As always, you're a fantastic host. And appreciate you being here. Guys, as always, see you guys tomorrow.